The Craft Room Tour. So this is Sandra from Cherry Heart, and I thought I would give you a bit of a guided tour of the craft room. A couple of you were asking me to see a little bit more after the podcast, so I thought I would have a little go, and I've got my camera here. It's actually my DSLR camera, but it does videos, so I thought we'd give it a go. Let's move actually, so you're not looking at the same picture. And I thought I'd give you a little tour round of the craft room. Now it's all been done up nicely. So, a few little bits on the window there. Nice view out the window, you can see. My lovely old knitting needles. Quite cute like those. And the jam jar. Some buttons, lots of lovely buttons that I need to sort out and put somewhere. This is my cake stand, which I haven't really got anywhere to keep downstairs, so it's ended up being up here and been filled with bits of crochet leftovers. And my little granny heart bunting that I haven't got round to putting back up again now. And my nice print and a card from my lovely friend Sam. So let's get round out of that window light. See if I can show you the desk and fit it in. So this is where I sit and sew and work on the computer sometimes as well. So as you can see, it's reasonably clear at the moment because I tidied it up for you. I knew you were coming, so I tidied. So what have we got here? Rather, look at that. Thought you might like a close-up of that. Yeah, that was, well, it's from lots of different places. A rather decadent and luxurious amount of yummy yarn. And most of that is from my trip to Loop, where I spent a quite reasonable amount of money. I was quite shocked, put it that way. But there's lots of other things in there as well. This one and this one are from Eden Yarns. EADEN yarns, and I've got some here from Yantan Tetherer yarns as well on Etsy. So I'm sort of collecting up. I'm starting a bit of a sock yarn stockpile here because I've kind of got it in my mind I want to do a sock blanket. No idea when I'm going to do a sock blanket, but you can't do one if you haven't got the yarn, can you? So, and they will make socks as well. So a little bit of fabric there. I also had a little trip to Ray Stitch in London, so I got those bits there. That's quite fun. And there's my little sewing machine cover, which we've made out of Little Miss's dresses that I cut up. I need to remake it really, or make another one, because it didn't fit entirely right. And look, here's the bit where I've unpicked it so it goes on a bit easier. I haven't bothered to put it back together again yet. How terrible is that? Need to get around to doing that. So here we are. That's on the desk. Oh, and this little shelf thing. It's very cute as well. It was up on this back wall, but I took it down to fit this fabulous big notice board up, and haven't actually put it anywhere else yet, so that needs to go up somewhere. But yeah, there's the notice board. Haven't got much on it yet, as you see. A little Christmas stocking that I left out and hung up there to remind me to do the pattern for it, so it didn't get buried under all the Christmassy things up in the loft. And I've just got a few bits on there that I've pinned up. Look, do you like my little heart pins? I got them on Amazon. They're pretty expensive, but they're so cute. And it's so good when you've got something to hang up. You're like, oh, I can use a heart pin. And this lovely bit of crochet is by the very talented Sam of Betsy Makes. And she kindly sent that to me as a gift because she's just lovely. And here, this thing, my lampshade. I'm going to try and do a close-up on this. Look, see if I can get really close. Can you see it's all textured? It's all raised up like flock wallpaper. So I kind of think of it as my Indian restaurant lampshade, because that's what it reminds me of, that wallpaper that they always used to have in Indian restaurants in the 70s. And here's the shelves. That give you a shelf shot. That's what I always like to look at when I see pictures of people's craft rooms. I like to see what have they got on their shelves and how have they organised it. And so this is how I've done mine. It's quite practical really, because I've got all those boxes at the bottom so I can just shove things in. So I don't have to worry about being so tidy, but they also do look quite nice. And as you can see, I've got 2 down here that I haven't covered yet. But I just cover them in wallpaper scraps. So I need a few more wallpaper scraps. And some fabric out, sort of bigger ones, bigger bits that didn't really fit anywhere else, and some books. And more boxes. And more books. Some crochet up there, look. Little crochet samples hiding up there. And more boxes. And I want to show you inside these boxes, because in this one I've got ribbons, which you might be able to see, just. Focus. And trims. So I was just going to show you inside here, because this is the sort of thing I like to see as well. So we're going to try doing it on the move as part of the film. So if I take this little lid off here and you can see inside, here's all the ribbons, look. So that's what really sold it to me. I saw these, I got these boxes in IKEA, in case you were wondering. And I saw those compartments and thought, oh yes, they're going to be great for something. I don't know what, but they've got to be useful. So that's what I've used them for. Put all my ribbons in there. And all the trims are in the other one. Should have a peek inside. Oh, can't see. I'll have to get it down. Bear with me. Let's bring it down. This one's not quite so neat. Haven't done quite so much work on this one. There you go, you can kind of see I've started to spool things up. Haven't really finished that job. Work in progress. Everything's always a work in progress, isn't it? It is for me anyway. And then if I put these back, hope I'm not making you sick by wobbling you around too much. Right up the top, even more boxes, because I cannot waste any space, it all has to be filled. So that's got old jumpers and things that I think I might be able to cut up and use for something else, old clothes. There we are, my little Darla horse. I'll bring this back down because you might not be able to hear me. The old Darla horse I was just showing you there, because I've had that forever, it's one of my favourite things. So some nice tins up the top there, and then onto the fabric. So that top shelf there is sort of reclaimed fabric, I suppose. Ones I've got from husband's shirts and daughter's clothes I've cut up. And then these ones are my quilting cottons, or fabrics that I've brought anyway. They're not all quilting cottons, but they mostly are, that I've collected up. I just love having these out so I can see them, to choose them for one thing, but just aren't they pretty to look at? See all the colours there. I love that. There we go, a few beads in there, some Christmas fabrics on the right, and then this section, a little bit of Liberty, a little bit of vintage sheets, and then back to collected, cut out of clothes ones again. And then buttons. Buttons and more buttons. And tins with pins and whatnot in. So that's the shelves. And then we're coming round to, don't know what you're seeing, I hope this is going to come out alright, the chair area. So there's my little chair, and this is the bit that's underneath the pot holders. Look, they're up there. And the lampshade with my crocheted cover that I thought I was being oh so original. I shall crochet a cover for a lampshade. That's a good idea. And I did it. I wasn't entirely happy with how it turned out actually. And then I remembered that's what Lucy did for her lampshade, and hers looked way better. And she had the shade done as well, so it looked really good. I'm not sure mine looks very good. But there we are. And there's my Painted Roses cushion again. And the Dolly mixture blanket, which I just really like for all these. Well, I like it anyway, but I like these little dots on the edge and the way they sort of wiggle around as you move it about. That makes me happy. And then beside my table, so I've got my lamp so I can really see what I'm doing even when it's wintry and horrible. And here I've got my little table, essential for the sustaining drink, a nice warm tea or a hot coffee. And I've got my little Japanese books on here, which are purely sitting on here because they do look quite pretty, but purely because I ran out of space on my shelves. So I commandeered the whole room, finally managed to get the whole room for myself, and I still haven't got space to put everything. And my little coloured pens. And then we won't go outside because that's all dull. But here's my IKEA trolley with some Debbie Bliss cashmerino tucked in the bottom. That's my little stash of that. And a big pile in bags here that you see is yet another unfinished project. That's a shawl I started last summer on my holiday, and then I didn't get around to finishing. I've got some sort of idea of how I want the border to go, and it wasn't going right, and then sort of winter came and I thought, oh, I don't want to be working on summery shawls, I want to be working on something else. So it got put aside. So I'll just give you a quick scan of what's on the trolley. Various boxes and jars again. And the top, I generally have got sewing bits and bobs, so I've got some cottons in there and scissors and things and threads. So this is on wheels, this IKEA trolley, it's ever so good. So I can wheel it round to the desk when I'm sewing, and then I can reach these things, and then it wheels back over here and sits out of the way. And this is my little tub of mostly wrapping paper in there now, birthday wrapping paper, but there's also some wallpaper bits that I like to keep for covering of the boxes. And here we are around by the window. This is my little, thought I'd quickly show you this. This is another just tiny little desk, but I made an ironing board. It's just a breadboard that I covered with the proper ironing fabric and wadding to make it soft. That's where I iron if I do any sort of quilt piecing, like sort of chain piecing a few bits together, and I just give them a quick iron press on there before I carry on sewing. So that's right next to the desk. And here we are, back round to the window and the desk again. So that's everything, I think. I think I've showed you the whole thing. There we are. I'm standing right by the window now so I can get as much in as possible. But that's where I sit and spend my crafty little days.